All right, everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, The Love for Cardboard. Today is a day that I've been kind of excited about. The last time that I made a video, I made the footprint of the next model cardboard house that I'm going to be making. And if you remember, we're doing the Lizzie Borden house, part of my Haunted Edition. Within the last couple of months, just to recap, I had made the Sally house, and I made the Valeska Axe house, and today I am working on the Lizzie Borden house. So, this right here is the footprint that I made. This is going to be a rough sketched plan of how I'm going to make this house. And as you can see right here, I've got the big piece of cardboard that I am going to be cutting down and breaking down. And then I am going to be using this footprint right here that I did in the last video as a guide for making the, let me get it situated here, the exterior walls of this house. So the tool that I'm going to be using today is an X-Acto knife, as you can see right here, an X-Acto knife. And I've also got a really cheap 1990s, early 2000s ruler, kind of floppy. And we got some pencils here that we're going to be using. And one of these kneaded erasers. Those are really important because there's also a lot of erasing that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to get this box cut down and I will be right back. Okay, everybody, I got the box cut down. These are my pieces right here. As you can see, they're nice boards that I've got right here. Basically, when I'm making the exterior walls for a house, and I'm using these moving boxes from Home Depot, they are not a sponsor of mine, but I do frequent there quite a bit to pick up their extra large boxes because those seem to be the best material for making these houses. The only downside that I would have to say about these boxes is that they have these little handle cutouts, and those aren't really good for making exterior walls on houses because, well, I don't want those to be part of my finished design. So I never waste much cardboard when making these houses, so I will usually use these sections of boxes that have those cutouts for making interior walls of houses. I will just trim that part away so that I have a nice, good piece of cardboard because interior walls are generally smaller than the exterior. So, but for the exterior walls and for the floors themselves, I use the big pieces of cardboard right here. The really big ones. There are no handle cutouts, so those make great sections there for exterior walls. So, there they are. They're all cut down. Those will be ready to use in a few moments here. So, I'm going to put one of these pieces here. And let's get sketching. Be right back. Oh, and before I forget, you want to see my aquarium? There it is. Nice saltwater aquarium. Fish are a little camera shy right now. But got a clownfish that's hiding. Got a blue devil damsel. And there should also be a triggerfish. A triggerfish. Yep. So periodically when I'm making these videos, I will do, like a fish feeding or something like that, so that you guys can see them. Okay, so I got the cardboard down, and as you can probably see from right here, let me see if I can't get this in place. Whoopsie! There we are. From this angle, you probably are looking at the cardboard house drawing upside down, but that's okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm using this cutout that I made in the last video. If you haven't watched that video, watch that first because it'll all make sense. We've got all of the rooms mapped out, staircase right there, you get parlor, foyer, sitting room, dining room, kitchen, butler pantry, all that good stuff. So I'm going to be making the front section of the house right here. Front door is going to go right there. So in order to do that, I need to lay this down on a big piece of cardboard. And once I have that laying down right where I need that to be, I got stuff rolling there. Okay. I will have kind of a general idea about where we want this to go. Okay. I think I got it. Good. So, I'm going to take the camera now and show you. That's right where I'm going to be working. Right here. Okay. It's all laid out. Just like that. And what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be pulling from this piece. There's a window. There's a window. And this is where the front door is going to be. And I'm going to be putting little tiny lines right there to show where that's going to go. The next part is how high do I want the walls, and where does the ceiling for the main floor meet to start a second floor? So I can take this out of the way, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my ruler right here where we made a line, and I'm going to make sure that it's even. I don't use T-squares, I don't use protractors, I don't use compasses or any of that stuff. Because you know what? I want to make this fun art. You know, this isn't math class, this isn't calculus, this isn't geometry or any of that goofy stuff, you know. This is just having fun and creating. So a lot of this that I'm doing is eyeballing and measuring with, you know, common sense. So, what we're going to do is going to draw a line there, you know. You want to make sure that that kind of looks even with the other side there, you know. So, we have our mark here, which is where that's going to be. That's the end of the house right there on that side, and then the other end of the house is going to be on this side. So, I already pre-drew this one out. Spoiler alert, yeah, I did. Because I want to make this video go quickly and I want you to be able to see it. But I'm going to recap you on this. So I put that footprint down on this like you had seen earlier, and I drew basically, you know, the width of the house. So there was a mark there, there was a mark there. And then I found where the windows went, so I made a mark there, mark there, mark there, mark there. And then I decided that I wanted the ceiling to go approximately, let's see, approximately 5¼ inches from the base of the house where the foundation will start to about where the ceiling is on the first floor. And the windows themselves, like all of my houses, I make them a standard 1½ inches wide by a standard 4 inches tall. So again, from the floor to, oh, from the floor to the ceiling. I couldn't even see that line. Okay, so from the floor to the ceiling, that'll be 6.5 inches. I think I said 5.5, but no, it is 6.5 inches from floor to ceiling. 6.5 inches from floor to ceiling. The windows are 1.25 inches wide by 4 inches tall. Okay, and then the doors are 1.5 versus 1.25. So yeah, so that'll be that. Okay, and so then I have to use a picture of the real house when making the second floor. So, and I also have the floor plan here that I had pre-sketched, which kind of gives me an idea. Okay. There's the first floor plan. You can see we got the window there, that's where the front door is going to be with the 2 side windows. There's a small closet there. And then when we go to the second floor, there's going to be 3 windows upstairs. Okay, and then the attic, those are dead center. So the 3 windows you're just gonna take your line from the first windows there, and then you're just going to trace up 1, 2, 1, 2, and then directly above the front door, which is another 1, 2. And then you've got the 2 windows, which are the attic, which are smack dab in the center from the roof, from the pitch roof. So that is that. So now I'm going to do some sketching. And if you want to stick around with me, you can watch. Otherwise, you can fast forward the video to the next part. Sorry about those measurements there. The lighting is absolutely terrible because we have had rain and clouds all day. And yeah, it just hasn't been ideal lighting for being able to see some of these measurements. But again, I am not an engineer. I am just sharing my love for creating cardboard houses. So to recap, standard windows are always 1.25 inches wide by 4 inches tall. Doors are 1.5 inches wide by 4 inches tall. You always want tops of the doors to be in line with the tops of the windows. Always looks better, doesn't it, that way? And then I'm going to show you how to guide those dimensions over into the next sections of wall so that we do not have to reinvent the wheel again. Yeah. And you know, when I was making the light sketches on this earlier, I had to do some tweaking and adjusting and all of that, you know, and I don't want to make this video too long for you guys, so I went ahead and just sketched it so that you didn't have to see all of my, you know, rambling and going on and on and on and on with this. So, you know, these kind of projects are a great way to curb that wintertime blues and depression and all of that. Because, you know, yeah, I do have some depression and I do have anxiety. And it's not fun in the wintertime, that's for sure. So I can relate. I don't say that, you know, just to say that or to be nice or anything, because, you know, it's a real thing. And I can talk about it. And hopefully, you know, these cardboard houses that I do will inspire other people, you know, dealing with the same kind of wintertime blues to get out there and make a hobby for themselves. Because this stuff is, it's cheap, you know? It's cheap, it's easy, it's cheap. So, yeah. Okay, so here we go. All right. I don't know how well you can see it. The lighting's absolutely terrible, but there's kind of the sketch out of what we got. Okay. Then you got a roof pitch there, a roof pitch there, comes down over there, comes down here. You got a window, 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 window. And you got the front door. So, what I'm going to show you now are the guidelines that we're going to be using to transfer these measurements into the next panel that we'll be working on. So, here we go. There's a guideline that's going to be right here, okay? There's a guideline that's going to be right here, and a guideline here, guideline there. There's going to be a guideline here, guideline here, guideline there, and a guideline there. We're not going to need these attic guidelines until the back of the house is ready to draw out. So, yeah, so I'm going to create the rest of the walls there, and then I will be back. Okay, guys, I'm back just for a brief second. So, I have the first side exterior wall already measured out and slightly drawn. So now what I have to do is I have to cut the front of the house out of the main piece of cardboard because I need to do the guidelines. So, yeah, if you hold on real tight, I'm going to get the camera situated right here. And that should do that. And I'm going to take out the big piece right here that we're currently working on and swap that out for the one that you just saw a minute ago. Okay. And now I've got to look for my tools. It should be around here somewhere. There it is. There it is, Mr. X-Acto knife. Our best friend. Okay, so, starting here, at the very top, so you can see it. So I'll make a cut, and it's got to be a nice, clean, even cut. Unlike when I made the footprint, because we're working with the finished product right now, right? Yeah? So, this is going to be the finished product, so I can't have any jagged lines, I can't have anything, you know, that's going to show up looking bad on the finished product, because I want to display this house, you know, and use it in other videos when it's all done. And I don't want to be disappointed, you know, with my work. You know, I'm going to work hard on this, right? So, hopefully someday, you know, these houses will gain recognition. I have no idea. All I know is that I just enjoy doing this for fun. Okay. There we go. Pop it out. Boop, there it is. Okay. Alright. You see our lines? There it is. Okay. Alright. So, I got this big one right here. I'm just going to toss that aside for a minute. Whoopsie. Okay. Now I can get the other one out. Right here. And to do guidelines, I will show you how to do guidelines. And then I'm going to have to wrap this video up because we're already going on 19 minutes and I don't want it to go too long. So, okay, so to create guidelines, you want this to be level and pretty even with the house that we're doing. Okay. Does that look pretty good? Yeah. Alright, so to make a guideline for the house, What I'm going to do is I'm going to find on here, get the shadows out of the way. Alright, where are we at? Right here. There we are. Okay, so this is a guide. That's where I'm going to trace that line straight across. And then that will show me how long the windows are going to be, and then I don't have to remeasure it and then try to put the house together, finding out, you know, that the windows are either taller on one end and shorter on the other, or shorter on one end and taller on the other. So this kind of helps with the symmetry of the house. So I am going to get the rest of the house drawn out, and then in the next video, you will see all four sides of the exterior, and then I will begin cutting out the doors and the windows. So there it is. There is the general sketch of the front of the Haunted Edition Lizzie Borden house. Okay, see you guys in the next video.